All right, this one breaking Sunday evening that Jermaine Burton, he's already announced that he's going to transfer from Georgia and he's headed to Alabama to play for Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. This is something that was talked about on the message board over at Dog Post for a little bit. You never really know where guys are going to go. Lane Kiffin was in town on Thursday, but now Jermaine has indicated that he is going to go to Alabama. I want to just real quick while I've got everybody's attention, make sure you're getting DAWGSTRUCTION right down below. We've had tons of orders today. And you want to see Georgia, you want to see Jermaine Burton in a Georgia outfit. You can see a few pictures of him in there, one from the Orange Bowl where he made a really big catch. So make sure you're clicking it down below and check that out now. Look, this is the new world of college football. Now, a lot of people are upset because he's going to Alabama, the team that Georgia beat for the national championship about 2 weeks ago. But it was just this is the new world. I mean, De'Aaron Kendrick left Clemson. He went to go play for Georgia. The first game out of the batch was the Georgia Clemson game. Eric Gilbert is, I would say, closer and closer to playing for Georgia. Eric Gilbert is an exceptional football player, and he's a guy that just you know there's not a lot of guys like him out there. So when he gets everything cool and he gets on the field, he will be very difficult to deal with. But I get this if you're Jermaine. Now I gotta say, going to Alabama, that's a weird. That's certainly weird. But because there's so many different schools you can go to. But look, Alabama is poised to win the national championship in 2022. This helps their cause. You still got Bryce Young coming back. You've had a couple of receivers, I think, have left Alabama. They're going to throw the ball a fair amount. I don't know that they're going to throw, more meaningful balls than you'd get at Georgia, but there's a lot of competition for the ball at Georgia, no question. I mean, you got, just taking a look at the board. Uh, I already mentioned Eric Gilbert. It's certainly somebody who could be in Georgia's um, playbook next year. You got Kyrus Jackson, I think, is coming back. Dominic Blaylock, Marcus Roseman, Jack Saint, Arian Smith, McConkey, A.D. Mitchell. Nevertheless, Brock Bowers and company at tight end. Tight end is going to be an extremely strong position for the Dogs coming up again. So for Georgia, it takes away one big play guy. For Alabama, it adds a big play guy. I mean, look, I understand why Georgia fans are going to be, pissed off about this, but this is what it is. I mean, I think right now, this is just what it is. You look at Alabama's roster, see who the best player is, and put feelers out there for them. If you need a right guard, there are no rules anymore. You can just do whatever you want to do. Now, for the most part, guys are not going to transfer to the team they just played the national championship against, but again, now this fits Jermaine's sort of pattern over the last 7 years or so. This will be the sixth school that he's been to. So Hateville Charter, Marietta. These are not in order. Hateville Charter, Calabasas in California, IMG, Marietta, Georgia, and then now Alabama. And he's been there for I think we met him in 15 or something like that. This is a move for Burton to get as much attention as possible in games because NFL scouts are at practices. I mean, it's not like they're not around. They see you all the time. So you just check in at the football office and you go watch practice. And so scouts see college players all the time. So this must be about production. I don't know. Jermaine can speak for himself. But for Georgia, you know, it does hurt because of Jermaine's big play ability. There's no question about that. He has extremely big potential in big play ability. He showed that in the Orange Bowl, the Mississippi State game in 2020. I think he had a big catch against Carolina, had a big run against Tennessee in 2020. I mean, the guy is not without skill. The problem for him, I think, at Georgia is that there's a lot of ball catchers at Georgia in a way that there kind of haven't been at Alabama. The Alabama top two guys for the last however many years, or top three guys, they get the lion's share of the ball. I mean, they get it a lot. Waddle, I'm just going off brain here. The kid number six, whose name escapes me all of a sudden. I mean, this year with Smith, and they just have had some really, really, really talented high level playmakers, and they get the ball the bulk of the time. Meacham, uh, Dante Smith, I can't believe I forgot his name, but I think I even said it wrong there. I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry. He's really one of the most exceptional wide receivers in college football the last few years. But my point is that what you've seen in Alabama is the lion's share of the balls, or at least the perception is the lion's share of the balls goes to a couple of guys. You can't really say that at Georgia. I mean, they spread it out a pretty good amount, and that's really and Jermaine was one of the guys that had the most receptions at Georgia in 2021. So it is a curious move. I mean, I don't know that I totally understand it. You're going to say he wants to play for Bryce Young and not Stetson Bennett. I see that around a lot. I don't. Oh, okay, but you know, if the ball's coming to you, it's coming to you. I mean, he was their second leading receiver in terms of yardage. In terms of receptions, he was number one, two, three, four, five. So he would have been the number four returning receiver coming back in terms of receptions. Yardage, yes, he has more because he is a receiver and James Cook is not. If you were to look at Alabama's situation at receiver again, the perception certainly is that their two big guys almost every single year are the guys that get the lion's share of the. Why will this not do what I need it to? Are the guys that get the lion's share of balls? Brock Bowers got almost double what everybody else did at Georgia, but the Alabama side is really going slow tonight. It's it's the new world of college football, and folks need to understand and realize that. Like for instance, the leading receivers at Alabama combined for 100. This is just very quick math. About 170 catches. I mean, that's a lot. So that was Mitchie and Williams. That's a lot of catches. Nobody else was within half of that. So, or at least no one else was in. I mean, Slade Bolton, which was he's turned pro, but he had 42 catches. Williams had who got hurt in the championship game. He had 79. Mitchie had 96 catches. I mean, so if that's what Jermaine is going for, I get it for sure. If it's about winning the national championship, maybe he made the right play. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. We don't know that. I mean, he just played on the national championship team. But I definitely get why Georgia fans would be pissed off. The kids on the team would be the curious ones to talk to about this. Like, how do they view this through their lens? Jermaine had come to Athens and really not been used a ton in 2000. But again, this year, in terms of yardage, he was number two on the team. He had average of 20 yards a catch. That's a lot. That's not as many as Arian Smith, but that is a lot in terms of total yardage. So I don't know. I mean, Georgia will have to figure out how to replace. He went for about two catches a game. Okay, about 40, a little bit fewer than 40 yards a game. Now that's replaceable. Okay, that's completely replaceable at Georgia. But for Jermaine, the thing is, hey, I can go to Alabama and have 100 balls, not 26. I can have four times the amount of production in terms of receptions, yada, yada. Yeah, you can. And that's what he decided to do. I'm not hating him for it. I get it. For Georgia, though, they're going to have to now defend against Jermaine Burton one way or the other. The best way to do that is with a pass rush, which is what they did in Indianapolis. So the plot thickens between these two programs. Maybe Ohio State will throw somebody in the ring And Alabama benefited from that as well, if you'll recall. I mean, uh, not that long ago. No, they had a young man, and now my mind is going blank here. Um, that came in from Ohio State to play for them at receiver. It's just what it is. Williams. That's what I thought. I didn't want to say it before I was right, but it just what it is. It's what it's going to be. I mean, from here on out, it's just about can you get the right guys for your system and in your system. And I look, I got nothing bad to say about Jermaine. This is a lot of traveling for him, but this is his last stop, and he's going to go pro after this season. If he's not gone pro, something's gone on really wrong, and I don't wish that for him. So Jermaine Burton headed to Alabama. You need to head right to this link down below to make sure you get Dogstruction. Thanks to everybody for ordering. We'll see you over on the website.